Hey, what's up, friends? My name is Sureshnie and welcome to Study Sesh. I am joined by an absolute expert when it comes to education. Her name is Dr. Laura Fisher. She and I have been having these sessions before, but today is a very, very special topic. I know that you guys are approaching your exams, which is why this might be so imperative for you to watch. Just get all of this content from her, and I know she has the best advice. We are tackling the topic of exam anxiety and stress management because it is a real thing. It is still happening even when you get older. When you have deadlines upon you, you begin to feel the anxiety. Dr. Laura, always good to have you in studio once again with us. Let's get right into it. Could you shed some light on the causes and symptoms of exam anxiety?
Yeah, thanks, Sush. Really great to be with you again. And as you said, this is something that we've probably all experienced at some point in our life. And unfortunately, exams aren't going anywhere. They still remain part of our educational system. In terms of the causes of exam anxiety, I think that they come from a multitude of different places. If I think for myself, what exams were like in school, which was a very long time ago, they were filled with negative experiences. Not necessarily because I wasn't well prepared, but just that when it came to exam day, I had extremely heightened anxiety. And because of these negative experiences that accumulate over some time, there's a fear that builds up around exams. And, that fear repeats itself and becomes like one of the causes of exam anxiety, and that is past negative experiences. I think that another cause is that people often hold themselves to immeasurably high standards. Perfectionism is a real issue for a lot of people. So the fear of making a mistake, or falling short of your own expectations or of expectations that you feel others might have on you is definitely something that can cause exam anxiety. I think this is something that educators increasingly work hard to address, and that is that we want to actually know, what is this test format and structure going to look like? And if you aren't aware of that before you go into it, I think that can be a really difficult thing for students. And then obviously your number one cause is going to be lack of preparation. And we've all gone into exams ill prepared, and that's naturally then going to cause exam anxiety. And, just in terms of the symptoms of these, I think the symptoms present themselves differently for different people. You may feel kind of like heart palpitations, sweaty hands. You may feel like you're drawing a bit of a blank on things that you actually did know, but now you can't remember. Yeah, muscle tension, cognitive symptoms like your mind's racing and you can't concentrate. And all of these things are very real causes and symptoms of exam anxiety.
Dr. Laura, thank you so much for outlining. I mean, I think about being sometimes the 11th hour student and suddenly freaking out about, I didn't prepare enough. But the reality is that exams are here. They're part of our educational system. How do we cope with this?
Yeah, I think there's not just one fit for all. But there's certainly research that suggests that there are particular methodologies that you can use to really reduce exam anxiety. For example, we spoke about the cause of exam anxiety being past negative experiences, and that's very much something that becomes rhetoric in your head. I've failed before, I'm going to fail again. And so this is about our cognition, and cognitive behavioral therapy has really been shown to reduce exam related stress and improve academic performance. So what cognitive behavioral therapy really aims to do is to kind of challenge the negative thought patterns and beliefs associated with exams, because often we're actually catastrophizing our failures, that we may have had one failure and now all of a sudden we think that we've got, we're going to fail everything else that we ever do. So we need to really identify the maladaptive thoughts with more realistic, concrete thoughts like, okay, I didn't do that well in that one exam, but look at how well I did in the others. So you replace your maladaptive thoughts with more realistic and adaptive ones, and that really can reduce exam anxiety and enhance kind of your confidence in exam taking. Additional research also shows that kind of self-regulatory strategies such as goal setting and time management are crucial for effective exam preparation. And then also not only for exam preparation, but actually in your exams. Taking a few minutes just to look through your exam paper so that you know what to expect and that you can almost kind of allocate time to the different elements of your exam. I think that's a really, really useful way of breaking down your exam into manageable chunks, which then helps to alleviate the feeling of overwhelm and also increases your motivation. So similarly, implementing effective time management practices leading up to exams, but then also in your exams, can really help to optimize your academic performance. One thing that we're going to talk about, later on in the study sessions is growth mindset. But recent studies really show how when we have a growth mindset, when we believe that we can do something, we really can do it. And encouraging yourself to have more belief in yourself. You have innate potential and you can really get through your exams, and you can overcome any academic challenge that lies in your way. And that belief in and of itself actually ultimately reduces your exam anxiety and enhances your academic performance. So in addition to kind of the psychological strategies, I would say that some of the practical strategies that we know of are deep breathing techniques, taking a deep sigh, almost kind of like resets your central nervous system. You can also breathe in a way that reduces your physiological symptoms of anxiety, or, do some stretches and stretch out the anxiety that's sitting in your body. And I think those are really important in terms of how you deal with your kind of physiology during your exam. And then remember that you've got support. You've got family, you've got friends, you've got caregivers, and they are all standing on the sidelines, really cheering you on. And believing that you are able to achieve your best. And I think really being cognizant of that as you go into your exam can really help you to reduce your exam anxiety and perform better.
I love that, because exactly what we're doing here with Boston Broadcasts, we're your cheerleaders. We really are helping you get the route sorted out. We're putting up all the lights so that you can see the map ahead of you and you know exactly where you're going to go. And that is what Study Sesh is all about. And whether you have mantras that get you through the day, like for me, it was believe in yourself, you can make it happen. Whether it's time management or having people on your side, we've got your back. This is what the session is all about. Dr. Laura, when you spoke about maladaptive thoughts and taking deep breaths and sighing sometimes, immediately it takes me back to like a maths problem. When I see math, a question, I'm like, no, and all I want to do is like sink under a duvet far, far away and like make it go away. But also somebody like me, I'm nocturnal, I love studying late, and then sometimes get super snackish, so it's the 2-minute noodles, and then I try to listen to some music and I do a bit of a dance and try to get some energy. But you could tell us, like, what do you think people could employ in that moment of alleviating that stress? What can we do from a health management perspective?
I was thinking about we speak about mnemonic devices in the study sessions, and I was actually thinking about a mnemonic device that I developed for myself when I was thinking about how to kind of care for myself holistically.
Mm,
So your thumb is kind of a big strong finger, and it reminds you that you've got a physical body that you actually need to look after. So while 2 minute noodles and dancing in the middle of the night might work for some people, it's not going to
yeah,
work for everyone. And
true, true.
actually, we really do need to look after ourselves from a physical perspective. We need to prioritize kind of nutritional meals, staying hydrated. All of these things ultimately help us to optimize our cognitive performance during exams. And of course, with our physical body comes sleep. And pulling all-nighters are just an absolute, the research just shows over and over again that it just doesn't work. If you don't know it
Yeah,
by 10 o'clock at night, close your books and go to sleep. Because what actually
yeah.
happens is that there's a memory consolidation process that takes place during sleep, where even things that you might not think that you have learned as well as you've learned them are able to be transferred from short-term memory into long-term memory, and you'll be able to retain the information and recall it during your exams if you've had adequate sleep. So actually, the studies show that it's really effective in encoding and storing memory and increasing the likelihood of retrieval during exams. So, yeah, enhanced learning and retention and sleep are intimately connected. And then, I think that it's really important just to also, as I've said, to bear in mind that we need to look after our physical bodies in
Yeah.
terms of exercising and eating well. And I think those things are really important. So that's the thumb. And then the pointer finger, I would say, points straight up and points to remind us that we are part of something bigger, and that we can really use opportunities to remind ourselves that while this may feel like the most important thing that has ever happened in our lives, the reality is that there's a bigger, broader perspective going on that we're a part of, and this exam is not everything. It's not the make or break
Yeah.
of your entire career and your entire life. So just remember that there is a whole universe out there that is that you're a part of, and there's a story that is unfolding in your own life that you just need to be mindful of, because I think that actually really can promote kind of a belief in oneself, which leads me on to the middle finger, which I'm not going to point the middle finger because then we'd have to do a bit of an edit of the video. But I always tell my kids the middle finger is your attitude finger. And I think having a really good attitude and going in with the right mindset, with a growth mindset, having dealt with your maladaptive thoughts, all of those things play into your attitude as you go into your exams. And not only that, but also your attitude towards yourself and having self-compassion, that you are resilient enough and you are strong enough, and you are mindful enough of yourself and your capabilities that you're really able to perform to the best of your ability. Your ring finger, and you can see mine is tattooed. That was because my husband lost about 7 wedding rings, and then we decided we'd just get our wedding rings tattooed on.
Tattooed. Yeah, yeah.
So
I love that.
our ring fingers remind us that we need to connect to those that really love us and advocate for us. They're the ones that are going to be there bringing you food. They're the ones that are going to be there giving you a phone call, asking you how you are, and really leverage that social support, because social support has been identified as a significant protective factor against exam related stress. So I encourage you to connect with your family and your friends, your social support networks for emotional support and for encouragement. And remember then that your little finger joins fingers with other little fingers. And those are that you've got a group of peers around you who are going through exactly what you are going through. Aww. And really shared experience and being there for each other is extremely profound in terms of us, having a healthy lifestyle and coping with exam-related stress in a multifaceted fashion.
Dr. Laura, in this session, I feel like we've covered things that sometimes we take for granted, like how pulling all-nighters might not be actually efficient for everybody, might not actually help you out in the long run, getting enough sleep and just managing your sleep hygiene, which I think is so essential in life generally, because the impact can be so positive if you get it right, eating the right things, having balance and doing some exercising. I love the mnemonic that you came up with, from the thumb all the way to the baby finger. I think that is something that it's such an easy technique to use. As we wrap up everything, and we spoke about how to regulate ourselves, what are your final tips and advice for our students? Because like I said, exams are here already, the stress naturally comes in. What can you say to help them through this?
Yeah, so I think Sush, you've probably wrapped it up really nicely, actually. I maybe just would like to highlight again just the importance of self-compassion. I think that we are generally pretty hard on ourselves. I know certainly that I'm way harder on myself than I am on anyone else. And research really does show that cultivating self-compassion can buffer against the negative effects of exam-related stress. And when we speak about self-compassion, we're really speaking about self-kindness, mindfulness, gratitude, and accepting that imperfection is part of who we are as people, and setbacks are an actual part of the learning process and an opportunity for growth. So in addition to the mnemonic that I gave you, I think, prioritize your sleep, get some mindfulness techniques at work in your life to regulate the physiological things you might be feeling during your exams. Stay physically active, maintain a good diet, get social support from your friends and family and those that love you, and connect with your peers. You're not alone. We are here for you and you are there for each other. So leverage that to your advantage.
Absolutely. And if you go back to the series that we've just created, Dr. Laura Fisher has had such incredible and insightful episodes. So please pop it in. You're going to see how imperative these are. These little roadblocks, these little markers are going to help you through. She's discussed all sorts of things. She's discussed techniques to help you relax and how to work effectively with your time management. And all of this is going to help alleviate your exam anxiety. Give yourself some grace too. Allow that space to happen. Give yourself some grace, and it's okay. Like she's also just said, it's just a chapter. It's not the whole story of your life. So we wish you well. We wish you everything of the best, and we are here for you. Please log on, check in, find out all of our links. We're of course on YouTube, and go back, take your time and watch these videos through, and hopefully it'll help you as well, get you through those exams. Good luck, Boston students. We got you.